So what is going on, guys? I am BlackOpsAmazing. Welcome back to another Zombies Q&A where we take your questions from the comment section below to do with the zombie storyline, Easter eggs and much more. Anything you want to know and we answer them. As always, if you enjoyed today's video, drop a like rating, make sure you are subscribed, but let's get into it. Here we go. So, plenty of questions to answer from you guys today, and the first one from George Jones says, why does Dr. Monty need the children, and why does he want to keep the loop going? So, these are questions that we don't 100% know the answers to. Monty's whole plan, or at least what he told us, was that the paradox brought by the multiverse must be resolved. Because of all these universes coming together, because of Samantha travelling from the original Ether universe to the Premise universe, Dimension 63, causing a multiverse and a paradox, we know that Dr. Monty made a plan with Maxis. He told him that this can't happen, that it must be resolved, and the only way that he could do that was by creating a new reality, specifically his perfect universe, one that was free of apothecans. But he said this can only happen if he gets the help of souls who have lived through and survived the fracturing. And of course these souls we know are Richtofen, and Takeo, Nikolai and Dempsey. Once Dr. Monty told that Maxis then told the plan to Richtofen, and then as we know, Richtofen along with his crew went off through the different maps, the Giant, Dreisendrache, Zetsubo, Garrod Karovi, helping Monty to create his perfect universe. We were collecting these souls of the 1.0 characters and then giving them to Monty so he could turn them into children in the house. But what we've never really known the answer to is, well, why exactly did he need the children? Because we know that our whole zombie storyline is one big loop. It doesn't progress past Revelations, or at least that's not the side of the story that we hear after that. We go straight back to Premise, the Great War, and then it progresses all the way through World at War, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, and then eventually back to BO3 Revelations, where the cycle just resets over and over again. We know that we are stuck in this loop. We don't see what happens after Revelations. That's never been part of our storyline, and we're never told why Dr. Monty even needs the children in the first place. Okay, it would make sense if our characters weren't trapped in a loop. It would make sense if they were to die at the end of Revelations. You could say, well, the reason for the children is to carry on their legacy or something like that, but that's not the case. The cycle just resets over and over again, so the reason why Monty needed the children isn't really clear. What purpose does he have for Nikolai, Takeo, Dempsey, Richtofen and Samantha to be children in his house, unless they are part of the cycle as well? But in my mind, that still doesn't really tell us. At the end of Revelations, Monty thought because our characters no longer had a soul, they'd be wiped from existence. Obviously, that wasn't the case because they drank the blood vials. That was their insurance policy that caused them to carry on living, which meant Dr. Monty, as we saw by the ending cutscene, was either going to wipe them from existence or, as he did, reset the cycle. He couldn't risk keeping them in his perfect universe, as that would cause a paradox. So if Richtofen and the crew were to die, the children, I guess you could say, would make sense. They were to carry on the lives of Primus after they were gone, but they don't die. The cycle just gets reset. What happens to the children after? We don't know. Unless I'm missing something. What exactly their purpose is? Well, I'm not sure. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And as you also said in this question, what reason does Dr. Monty have to keep the loop going? Why does he even want this cycle to keep happening over and over again? What is Monty's purpose for this? That's another question that we're not really sure of. Is it to stop the Shadow Man? We know at the end of Revelations the Shadow Man gets defeated. Does Dr. Monty keep resetting their cycle so that outcome is always the same? Is it something to do with the Premise characters? Why does he not want their timeline, their story, their lives to progress? That for me is a strange one. We know now that Dr. Monty is evil, or I don't know if we could necessarily say he's evil, because yes, he's been keeping us in this loop, in this cycle, but what if there is a good reason he's had behind this? What if there's a reason that Dr. Monty truly thinks is good, that he needs to keep our Premise crew in a loop? Maybe he truly thinks this is for the better. Obviously, our Premise crew don't agree. They don't want to carry on with this, and so we're going to stop it. But I wouldn't say that necessarily means that Monty's evil. Personally, I think he is. We've had enough clues throughout Zombies, through some of the things that he said, what we've been told by the Shadow Man, that actually Monty is just one of his many forms, and he's also known as the Devil, the Beelzebub, Satan. Is Monty also an apothecon? Possibly. Maybe like the Shadow Man, he has two forms. Monty is his good human form, and then his second form, what he can transform into, that we haven't seen yet, is possibly some kind of apothecon monster looking thing. So yeah, two questions that we don't really have answers to yet in zombies. I think by the time BO4 comes to an end, we're going to have an answer at least to one of them, why he wants to keep the loop going, but as for the true purpose of the children, why he wanted them, personally, I'm not sure. The next question says, so BOA, I've been following you for a while, and I'm a big fan of your Q&A videos. I have a major concern with Blood of the Dead. If you go to the docks and look out, you can see fireworks off in the distance. Are those the same fireworks from the Titanic as it sank with the Chaos crew? I know the Chaos story and the Ether story are supposed to be separate. Could it just be an Easter egg? Love your videos, keep up the good work. So yes, they are totally separate storylines. There is no connection to one another, or so that's what we've been told, even though in maps there's been little things that could suggest maybe there is a link somewhere, but nothing major. But yes, these have nothing to do with each other. Obviously, the Titanic, as it sank, they let off fireworks as a distress signal, so that explains them. As for Blood of the Dead, that map takes place on July the 4th, 1941. Obviously, July 4th is Independence Day in the US, so fireworks are a usual thing, so that explains that as well. And of course, the biggest thing is these two events take place nowhere near each other. Blood of the Dead is in San Francisco. The Titanic sunk quite a long distance away in the Atlantic Ocean. So yeah, I've had your question in my files for quite a long time. I thought I'd quickly answer it, but yeah, there's no relation at all. Husk Hunter 12 says, I know I might trigger some people when I say this, but I actually want to see Transit remastered for the fact that next gen can do more than last gen, and if next gen could support Transit better and have no, this is not happening. I need to ban you. No, do not say that. I do not want to see Transit again. No. The next question of today from Fatal Waffle says, hey BOA, where and when do you think the Primus or Ultimus crew are going to fight Dr. Monty? So again, like I said, I don't know how DLCs are going to work. It's a strange one this year because we have two different storylines, but I think we can say when we fight Dr. Monty, it's going to be around DLC 4, if not after that, if we're planning to have more DLCs, I don't know. Where exactly it's going to be though is a strange one because we had a new loading screen for Revelations where we saw Primus, Nikolai, Takeo and Dempsey along with Ultimus Richtofen walk up to Dr. Monty's house in his perfect universe. So that would show that possibly we're going back to Dr. Monty's perfect universe and we're going to take him out at his house or surprise him there. I mean, those characters could be there for another reason. Maybe they're going to kidnap the children, take them away, and then we'll fight Dr. Monty somewhere else. I don't know. Personally, I don't think we're going to be getting another Revelations location. It'd be much cooler if we fought him somewhere else. As Nikolai says in the classified ending, they are going to the Great War. So we know they are going to that location and it's possibly there where they're going to defeat Dr. Monty. We don't know yet, it's so far away. We could be getting maps in between that event. In fact, I hope we do. Or not, but let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And the final question from Dreamsy basically says, if the Shadow Man is stuck in a cycle as well, does that mean that Dr. Monty is more powerful than him? And I've never really thought about that. We know that Monty and the Shadow Man were the first two beings to ever exist. They lived among one another, they were friends. That was until, apparently in quotation marks, the Shadow Man turned evil and he went to the side of the Apothecons. We know that the Shadow Man is strong, he has power over the Apothecons, he is basically in control of them, they are his army. We've never actually seen the Shadow Man really do anything himself. Whenever he's done something, he's always used the power of the summoning key. Whereas Dr. Monty, well, we've seen he has the power to move things. For example, he transports the perk machines, the Pack-a-Punch machine to different locations for us. He has the power to give us weapons out of nowhere, which will explain the wall weapons in the mystery box. He also, as we saw by Revelations, has the power to wipe humans from existence just with a click of his finger, kind of like Thanos, just that he doesn't need the gloves. So Dr. Monty is extremely powerful, and I've never actually thought, well, is he more powerful than the Shadow Man? Clearly that's his biggest enemy, but the Shadow Man, apart from being able to turn into a monster and control the Apothecons, as for his own actual powers, we've never actually seen him use them. And even in Revelations, it isn't Dr. Monty who fights the Shadow Man, he gets the Primus crew to do it for him. So the Shadow Man truly isn't that strong. We've killed him, we've trapped him inside of the summoning key a few times. So I think we can say Dr. Monty is more powerful than him. And if that's the case, well, if Dr. Monty's got such a problem with the Shadow Man, why didn't he take him out for himself? I'm sure he could easily do it. I'm sure in Revelations he could have killed him if he'd have wanted to. Why he can't wipe the Shadow Man from existence, I don't know. If he can do it with anyone else. Maybe because he's not human. He didn't want to. Maybe he doesn't want to show his true side. But yeah, that's an odd one. I think we can definitely say though that Monty is more powerful. Anyway guys, that is it for today's video. Hopefully you have enjoyed. If you have, a like rating of course would be appreciated. It really does help me out and takes a second. If not though, it's totally fine. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you are subscribed, and as always, I will see you guys. Click that notification icon as well. Make sure you're up to date, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.